Alrighty, and then the NFC Championship game from last night, and this one was just as good as the AFC Championship game. Both these games absolutely fantastic, walk-off fashion, right down to the wire, team leading, and then the team coming back from behind and winning the game. So the 49ers head into SoFi Stadium and face the Rams for the third time, but the third time is not the charm for the 49ers. The third time is truly the charm for the Rams, getting the win 20-17. So, what to talk about in this game, folks? Well, a lot to talk about. The first thing to talk about really is Jimmy Garoppolo, folks. Is this man the man? Not really performing that well. Deebo Samuel Deebo Samuel probably truly should be the MVP here. So gosh dang good. 7 rushes for 26 yards. He led the team in rushing. 4 catches for 72 yards. Led the team in receiving. And Deebo Samuel has really been the staple, the key focus here of this 49ers team. And now Jimmy Garoppolo, ball in his hands to try to go win the game with the minute 46 seconds left. 1 timeout and just pummeled. Pass incomplete. Then he goes and dumps it off 3 yard for a 3-yard loss, and then he just flicks it, trying to throw away the ball. So the clock stops. So the clock stops, and he doesn't take a sack. That's what I was trying to look for. He doesn't take the sack right there, but then he flips it, and it's an interception off the running back's hands, Jermichael Hasty, off of his hands, and it goes into the hands of the Rams defender, and that's the game right there. So what do we say heading into this game? If you did not expect Jimmy Garoppolo to make a mistake, you bet the 49ers, but if you see Jimmy Garoppolo making a mistake in this game, turning over the ball, betting on the Rams, and what happened? Exactly that. Jimmy Garoppolo blows the game because he's not trying to get sacked. And honestly, that entire last sequence is going to speak to Kyle Shanahan a little bit in this offense of the 49ers, because it did not seem like a good drive starter. There was no kind of drive starter. You got a minute 46 seconds, and all you had to do is get into field goal range. Obviously, we all know that's plenty of time. You get Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds, able to go down the length of the field for a field goal, and you're telling me you got a minute and 46 seconds at a timeout and you can't do that? So there was no drive starter there by Kyle Shanahan. There was just nothing to kind of get a couple of yards, to get in the rhythm of, the hurry-up offense, the 2-minute drill and all that, starting with the pass and completion, just having kind of like 2 routes go out to the flats, and the Rams defense covers it fantastic, and then the next play, having all your receivers run out like 15 yards and then leaving one running back out of the backfield for a -3-yard loss, and now you're already behind the sticks on 3rd down, which forces Jimmy Garoppolo to kind of, wait a little bit longer for the routes to develop, for the Rams pressure to get there, and then Jimmy Garoppolo never, always, is prone to making the wrong decisions, making mistakes when he's pressured, and that's exactly what happened. Gets the pressure there by Aaron Donald and a little bit by Von Miller, pressured right up front. And Jimmy Garoppolo tries to spin out of it and, does a little bit too much, flicks it up, and it's tipped and it's an interception. So Kyle Shanahan, now we have to kind of reassess him as a head coach. All these blown leads, 10-point lead in this game. We all know the Super Bowl 28-3 lead. That's Kyle Shanahan. We know in the Super Bowl up 20-10, 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and he blows these leads. Once again, up 17-7 with 13 minutes left in the 4th quarter, blowing the game here. So, y'all can knock Jimmy Garoppolo all you want. Talk about how he's unclutch and all that, but Kyle Shanahan, he's also a little unclutch too. That, Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't with the Falcons, it was Matt Ryan. I understand Jimmy Garoppolo was in the Super Bowl. I get that, folks, and Jimmy Garoppolo's the quarterback here, but at the end of the day, when we look at the stats, they never really ran the ball that much. He trusted Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball 30 times. Elijah Mitchell only running the ball 11 times here, not chewing out the clock. when you've got the lead, not playing, time management and all that. So now we have to reassess, is Kyle Shanahan good? Is he clutch? Where does he rank in kind of head coach categories? So this entire season has blown up so many kind of, I don't want to put them as like already kind of set in stone narratives of Andy Reid's such a great coach and Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and all that. I mean, we're truly the Bengals beating the Chiefs. Now we have to reassess all this, and now we have to reassess Kyle Shanahan, and do you move off of Jimmy Garoppolo? And I think you do. We've seen this by Jimmy Garoppolo. When we look at his stats, 16 of 30. I mean, we're talking about 50% here, folks. It's nothing that great overall. And then when he's pressured, when all the kind of pressure is on his shoulders and he's getting pressured right up front, he's prone to make the wrong, real bad decision that loses the game and all that. So I do think you have to move off of Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's not because I like Trey Lance or believe Trey Lance is good. I think Trey Lance is very bad. I don't even see Trey Lance being good. Like, screw Trey Lance being great. I don't even think this man's going to be good. I don't even think Trey Lance can get you to the playoffs. So now Kyle Shanahan's going to have to answer all that. And, he's going to have to kind of, reassess which quarterback he actually wants. Like Sean McVay did. I don't want Jared Goff. I want Matthew Stafford. And he went out and got him. So we'll see what Kyle Shanahan truly decides to do. Did he really want Trey Lance? Is Kyle Shanahan, the main driving force behind drafting Trey Lance and truly believes he can win a ring with them? So we're going to be truly focusing, Kyle Shanahan 100% under the microscope. Can this man win the big game? We don't even know. So, once again, why we do the show every single day, folks, just like that, scripts, narratives, everything can just be 100% topsy-turvy now because of one game, one play of football. Crazy. So, 49ers come up short here, unfortunate. But the Rams, they didn't play a flawless game. They didn't play a clean game here. I'm still a little concerned on this Rams team moving forward. And the biggest kind of glaring issue is, let's watch the drop interception here by Jaquiski Tart. Misses a wide open interception. Here we go. Rams down 3, 17-14 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is, I believe, the first play of the drive, and it's a shot play. And we've seen this. How many times have we seen this season? Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay taking a shot play that's not really open. What is this? And this is an easy interception, and he just kind of drops it. And does this kind of seal or change the entire course of the game? Yeah, potentially. You're giving, the 49ers the ball back when you're down 3 with 10 minutes left, able to kind of chew up some clock, maybe score a field goal to make it, a touchdown game, or you get a touchdown and make it a 2-possession game, who knows, or the Rams defense steps up and the Rams just have kind of less time to work offensively. So everybody that's calling this like the big play of the game, yeah, to a degree, but is Jimmy Garoppolo still going to be able to clutch it up? Can Kyle Shanahan still kind of clutch it up at this point? That's not for certain, and we all know why that's not for certain. So, and this is why it's a little, I'm a little nervous for this Rams team going against this Bengals defense, because Sean McVay, yes, he's a great coach, and I love him as a coach, whatever it means to be a head coach, but play calling, how many times do we see Sean McVay on the sideline kind of tap his chest, be like, oh, that's on me, that play call's on me. So when he got down 10 points, Sean McVay started to kind of, be out of his element and kind of, call plays that, we're just trying to be like trickery or a big shot play to get it all back quickly, and that's not how you play football. We hear that all the time. You can't get it all back in one play. Stick to the course. The Bengals being down 21-3. I mean, could you imagine if, Sean McVay gets down 21-3 in a championship game or the Super Bowl? This could be real big bad potential for them. So real early on, I think I'm loving the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks to talk about and discuss and break down and all that, but Sean McVay kind of worrying me a little bit on his play calling. and what happens in real tight situations. So this play right here, Matthew Stafford takes it. It's not open. We've seen it before against the 49ers trying to hit OBJ. That's a no-go. You've got the safety right in the middle of the field the entire time. You don't throw this ball, but he still does throw the ball. So I'm sure Sean McVay was like, I want you to throw this. You need to throw this. You're throwing the ball. So that's our knock on Sean McVay. But now for the greatness of Sean McVay. What we love about Sean McVay, folks, is that he's a player's coach. And what do we say all the time? Are they really going to make us freaking sign out and sign back in just so I can watch this one? I got it on Twitter, so I guess I'll just go to my Twitter account to bring up the video. But here it is, folks. Sean McVay, right on the sideline. This is after the interception. The game's over right now. Sean McVay on the sideline. And 40 seconds left. They need one more kneel down before Sean McVay heads onto the field. Matthew Stafford kneels the ball. Sean McVay instantly runs to Matthew Stafford on the field to give him his praise. All of that. We know the head coach quarterback connection. It needs to be solid, folks. And we've been using Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford as an example right from the offseason, because as soon as Matthew Stafford got there, Sean McVay was always gushing, uplifting Matthew Stafford as a great talent, so great, and all this, and that speaks to confidence and allows your quarterback to have confidence and play free out there, where, you know, when we're looking at Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, there was never any praise from Jimmy Garoppolo. There's a little praise, you know, from last week, all that. But, you know, leading by example, showing praise through your actions, all that. We never got that from Kyle Shanahan. We got the words from Kyle Shanahan, but we don't get the kind of actions like we do of Sean McVay running onto the field as the game's not even over. The game is over because the clock is running out, but there still is 26 seconds still left on the clock. And Sean McVay instantly running over to Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's not done celebrating with his own team yet, and Sean McVay is there. Yes, sir, hugging him. I told you can do it. I knew you could do it. I fucking love you, Matthew Stafford. Marry me right now, Matthew. I love you. So once again, offensive-minded coach, the quarterback connection with the coach so solid, folks. And we say it should be so solid that it's annoying. That's how it should be. So Jimmy Garoppolo, uncertain future with the 49ers. Not having, you know, the kind of full support behind him, not having that kind of trust, I don't know what Kyle Shanahan was trying to do on those final play calls, all of that. But what happened, you know, what would anything be different if Jimmy Garoppolo had a little bit more boost, more support? Did Kyle Shanahan go over to Jimmy Garoppolo on the bench and be like, hey, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper? Like we heard from Andy Reid last week for the Chiefs, down with only 13 seconds left, goes over to Patrick Mahomes, hey, if it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. Do we get any of that by Kyle Shanahan, or is it all just words after the fact like we got last week? It was after the fact. Kyle Shanahan saying, hey, we wouldn't be here without Jimmy Garoppolo and all that. It's always after the fact. Sean McVay does it before the fact, during the fact, after the fact, and then repeats the process the next week, and then repeats the process next week, and then repeats the process next week, and then repeats the process during this week, and then repeats the process after the week as well. So this is what we're saying, folks. We see it all the time. We'll always talk about it when we see it. We'll always highlight it when we see it. And here it is, Sean McVay just loving on Matthew Stafford because he believes in him. He knows they're the guy. He knows they work well together, boosting up that confidence and all that. And then we get this right after the game, the press conference. Once again, Sean McVay for 30 straight seconds praising Matthew Stafford, saying he elevates everybody around him. He elevates me as a coach. Once again, the humbleness at the head coaching position. You must have that. Sean McVay saying, yeah, he even makes me better as a coach. What coach is admitting that? You think Kyle Shanahan is ever saying Jimmy Garoppolo makes me a better coach? Of course not, folks. He would never utter those words in his entire life. So Sean McVay still giving him praise in after the fact at the press conference, and then at the podium for the presentation of the Nfc Championship trophy, shouting out Matthew Stafford right off the rip, right off the bat. loving, supporting. We're all in this together, giving credit to where credit is due. Sean McVay is the best coach in that standard. We still have the knock, though, of play calling. That's where, we don't love Sean McVay 100%. A little too cute for his own good. Tries to get it back all in one play. Crunch time situations, not the best. So that's, we're not all praise on Sean McVay. I still love the dude. But for the play calling aspect, still a little up in the air on him. But for what you need to be as a leader at the head coaching position, he checks all the boxes, and here they are in their second Super Bowl with another quarterback. You got to respect it. Alrighty, so let's quickly round out these stats here, and then we will get out of here for today. So here we go. Jimmy Garoppolo goes 16 of 30, officially over 50%, so you get a little credit there, but still 53%, nothing that great. 232 yards, just coming short of 250. We had the prop bet on our pregame show, all quarterbacks over 250 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo is the only one that didn't. And what did we say? We were worried about Jimmy Garoppolo being the one that doesn't do it. 232. And he actually lost 3 yards. He was at 235 at the start of that last drive, and he lost 3 yards. How do you do that? Come on, Jimmy G, Jesus. So he doesn't get it done there. 232 yards. It is still pretty respectable, but it's all the kind of Deebo Samuel. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. The pick cost him. The running game, Deebo Samuel, 7 rushes for 26 yards. Elijah Mitchell only ran the ball 11 times for 20 yards, so not established run game here by the 49ers. And then who was Jimmy Garoppolo slinging the ball to? We had Deebo Samuel, leading receiver, 4 catches, 72 yards, a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 4 catches, 69 yards. Elijah Mitchell, 3 catches, 50 yards. George Kittle, 2 catches, 27 yards, and a touchdown. And then for Matthew Stafford, here we go. We got 31 of 45 completions, 68%, baby. Yes, sir. Showing what Matthew Stafford could do with a competent team and a smart head coach. Matthew Stafford truly working his way up into kind of, working his way up into this kind of OG quarterback class of Big Ben and Rodgers and Breeze and Manning and Brady, working his way up because he was at the bottom of the list there because not winning any rings or being competitive in any meaningful games. But here we go, folks. Matthew Stafford making his case. Gotta love it. So 68% completion percentage, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Cam Akers ran the ball 13 times for 48 yards. Once again, the big believability into your players. Sean McVay could have easily not ran Cam Akers at all this game because he fumbled twice last week and almost cost him the game against the Bucs, but he sticks with it. Leading rusher Cam Akers, 13 rushes for 48 yards. Sony Michel, 10 rushes for only 16 yards, and Matthew Stafford even took off 5 times for 8 yards. All right, and then Matthew Stafford slinging the ball. We got Cooper Kupp, 11 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown. OBJ, what a performance. 9 catches for 113 yards. And then shout out to Tight End University. Yes, sir. Kendall Blanton, who Tyler Higbee got injured, real early in the game. So Kendall Blanton fills in for him. 5 targets, 5 catches, 57 yards. Big catches in the biggest spots. You got to respect it. Tight End University showing out here in the championship games. Tyler Higbee, 2 catches, 18 yards. He got a little injured, unfortunately. And then Von Jefferson, only 2 catches for 9 yards. So the Rams get the win 20-17. Sean McVay, fantastic. Matthew Stafford, fantastic. And now we get Jimmy Garoppolo. Probably shouldn't be here anymore, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see what Kyle Shanahan decides to do for the future of the 49ers. And then we get this, and why Jimmy Garoppolo's probably gone here. We get the general manager, John Lynch, hugging Jimmy Garoppolo before he heads into the locker room here, probably a goodbye hug. And then Jimmy Garoppolo says this, Jimmy Garoppolo on his 49ers tenure possibly coming to an end, saying, quote, "It hit pretty hard in the locker room. It's one of those things that you have to think about the good things and just smile. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks, but I love this team. I love those guys." So once again, Jimmy Garoppolo always having this in in his mind, is this going to be my last game? Is this going to be my last throw? Having this the entire season because he never had the back ability by his head coach or the fans or anything like this. Why you have to treat the quarterbacks good. And now I'm not saying it played into, him losing, but it potentially played into Jimmy Garoppolo kind of letting the pressure get to him a little bit too much. So gotta be the great leader at the head coaching position, and why we love Sean McVay so much. So the Rams get the win 20-17, and the Rams are heading to the Super Bowl, folks.